Times NBA players talk trash, and it worked. Talking trash can be an art form. This is true in all sports, but especially true in the NBA, where players are on a smaller playing surface and in constant close proximity to one another. Trash talk can backfire. Instead of distracting the opponent, it motivates them. When done right, it can demoralize an opponent and even swing the results of the game. Before we get to some of the best examples of trash talk succeeding, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Bird calls his shot. Larry Bird was one of the best shooters the league has ever seen, and he used his shooting ability to smack talk and intimidate opponents. Many opponents have told stories of how Bird would tell them that they can't stop him. Telling an opponent they can't stop you is one thing, but Bird took it a step further. He took it to a place only one of the greatest to ever play could. He would not only tell opponents they couldn't stop him, but then tell him he was going to make a three-pointer from a specific spot on the court. He'd say this, and then on the very next possession, do just what he said he would. Many players have recounted a story of Bird doing this to them, but one of the best stories comes from Hall of Fame player Dominique Wilkins. He recently recanted the story of the Dan Patrick Show. Wilkins was a rookie and Bird was a league MVP at the top of his game. Bird's mind game started early as he purposefully refused to shake hands with a rookie prior to the tip. He then, on the first possession, tells Wilkins that he doesn't belong in the league and drains a three-pointer. He did it again on the very next possession. Bird then tells Wilkins that he is going to score 40 points that night. He scored 39 in a Celtics win. The truth tells it like it is. Paul Pierce's nickname is The Truth. He never lived up to that moniker more than when he trash-talked Kenneth Faried. Let's set the stage. Faried had just signed a big contract extension that made him very well paid. This is despite never averaging more than 14 points per game. At the end of a game against Pierce's Brooklyn Nets, Faried is at the line for a pair of free throws with a chance to win the game if he makes both. This is when Pierce spits his magic. He says, $60 million? I don't see it with this guy. Faried missed both attempts and the Nets won. Savage. His airness gets the last word. Michael Jordan was great at pretty much everything on the basketball court, and that included trash talk. The man stuck his tongue out when he knew he was going to dunk. When you're the best player in the league, you have a lot of opportunities to back up some smack talk. The funniest story is one that involves a smack talk that backfired, and Jordan getting the final soul-crushing sting with his words. Jordan was playing the Utah Jazz and dunked on the 6'1" John Stockton. A fan in the stands near the court proceeded to yell out to the 6'6" Jordan. He told the man, who could fly like an eagle in the air, to pick on someone his own size. Smack-talking Jordan was always a mistake. It never rattled him. It only gave him extra fuel to embarrass whoever dared speak to him. This was indeed the case to the heckler in the stands. Jordan remembered what was said and shortly after dunked on the 6'11" Mel Turpin. After which, Jordan turned to the heckler and said, "Was he big enough?" The Bulls won the game and Jordan scored 47 points. The glove never held anything back. Gary Payton has the reputation as the biggest trash talker in NBA history. Almost every word out of his mouth, and there were many times for the fast talk point guard, was some form of trash talk. There are a lot of stories to pick from, but the best could be one that happened on a court but not in the NBA. Payton and Jason Kidd came from the same area of Oakland. Payton was 5 years older and served as a mentor of sorts to Kidd. The two played on the playground court in Oakland when Payton was starting to make a name for himself and Kidd was still an unknown. Payton decided to test the youngster. He told Kidd that not only would he not score, but he wouldn't even get off a shot. Payton is one of the best point guard defenders in league history and earned his nickname of The Glove for his ability to stick right on his opponent. Kidd left that day without getting off a shot. A humiliating performance. As he tells it though, he thinks Payton was testing his resolve. Kidd showed up the next day to try again, and Payton became his mentor.